I can feel it. The threads of reality unraveling, shifting beneath my feet. But I'm not the only one who senses it. There are others, powerful beings, who seek to unravel the very fabric of this world. They threaten not only me, but also the power of my Rolthane. You must be found, hunted down, and eliminated before you bring more chaos to our realm. And I will not rest until you are brought to justice. Your meddling must stop, for the sake of my God King's rule and the order we have established. I will let it be known these mortals, these children of chaos, will be my prey. And I will make them face the full wrath of the loving Queen.
Is everybody all right?
Where's Jet?
Jet?
Your footfalls
Jet?
land, as accompanied also with a large, heavy, distorted, as behind you, this large tree of cytosix stands with you. Adrienne sort of peers behind the large foot of this rooted, the rooted, gnarled foot of this treette. But you look around, and Jet is nowhere to be found.
Where is he, Smith?
Maybe it's like when I went through.
I don't know.
How long do we wait?
I don't know. Let me see if I can find one of the brothers. Maybe they know. I'm going
As
to
you
rush off.
Go ahead.
I'm going to rush off and see if I can find somebody to help.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you
Smith?
turn,
Are you okay? Jet, what's wrong?
I saw her. For real.
What?
The Queen. She was somewhere else. Not here.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know how we move, we shift when we teleport, but I suppose maybe I was blown into a detour. Into her space.
It wasn't the castle?
No. No, it was different. Vast. But tight. Hollow. She was there. I saw her face.
Did she see you?
I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not.
Alright, well, what was she doing? Anything we can use?
Talking. Planning,
To
plotting
her.
out loud. To herself. I don't know. I imagine it being like that. They're not used to intrusions. Thinking might be the same as talking for somebody like that, you know? It seems as if this God King is merely a pawn. I searched for the bracelet that I had before that I had fashioned for us so that she wasn't able to, find us before. To pierce into our memories. Do I still have it? Because I am suddenly racked with a newfound fear.
You do have it.
Okay. When I was
You
gone.
rifle through your bag, a familiar jingling. You find the rattle of the beads as you hold it up, and it's sort of, you hope for it to still be intact. The band is still intact, and the beads are still on. It is still a bracelet, and it still fits.
I quickly slip it way past down my wrist towards my elbow. When I was gone, when they had took my things away from me. I don't know why I went then either. She has power over the mind. You'll remember, through dreams,
Who could forget?
I was tormented then too. Horrific images. I know not how we can find her or defeat her, but she seems to be dependent.
On?
Rothain, the God King. For some reason, she needs him, it seems. And she is aware of us acutely.
Holy shit. Is she feeding on him?
I
Yep.
know not what manner of creature she is. Dungeon Master, would I be able to make some sort of check?
We do know though, because I know, and I'm pretty sure I told you guys that she was like this night hag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then your suspicions are correct. She is not like any human being or creature or kith I have ever seen before in my life.
Yeah, but do you remember when we they mentioned that he had some sort of sickness or affliction in that vision that we saw, Jet? Do you remember?
Yes. Yes.
So I wonder if she needs him. I wonder if she's somehow feeding on him.
That would explain so much.
It really would.
So,
Question
Who
is, how do we
knows?
prove it? And by killing him, do we wound her?
I don't know if any of it matters.
either way, I suppose we will be severing a tie, no?
Yeah.
Mr. Smith aims to send the God King out of this plane. If her bond is still tied to him and he is alive, maybe that might be better than severing it and making her able to make a new one. I know not how her magic works, but that is the first thing that comes to mind.
You actually bring up a good point here.
I do?
Yeah. If we send the castle to another plane of existence, and they're together, their bond might still remain intact. If we sever the bond and separate them and then send the castle off, That might be a better thing.
I don't know.
We don't even know how to separate the bond, if it's severable. All of that is up to chance.
I know not how crone magic works.
Neither
But
do
at least for mine, I know that creating a bond is a lot more difficult than just breaking one. Whether or not it would be beneficial for us to break this bond before we send them away, or to keep it intact and so she is none the wiser or needs to form another one and is unable to.
Looking down at my armor when you bring up that point.
I look away.
Could everybody give me Arcana checks?
I
18.
Arcana
Mm-hmm.
and natural one.
Jet with a natural 20 last. And now we're starting out with a natural 1. Okay.
The cycle is complete.
Cycle is complete. We have balance in the world.
19.
Varsha and Smith. Good news, it wasn't a spell or anything, so this doesn't have to do with... This is more of an arcana perception. It's more about feeling the Spellwind than it is any sort of danger. So the natural one isn't a disgusting thing here. But Smith, you and Varsha, interpret this how you will, or how maybe you both communicate, or however it is. But when this conversation is happening, you notice a breeze sort of blow through the area, and as it does, there are some objects where you start to see the Spellwind sort of manifest as it does, and it usually shows up as less sort of like this fuchsia, lavender type bright quantum wind, but as it sort of makes its way through, the best way I could describe it as where the perception of the image behind the breeze is gone. Almost as if the breeze was an alpha mask for those who edit and stuff. So it's sort of like that breeze is sort of erasing the image of the structures and some of the architecture that is around. You have not seen this happen before. That's what happens as you're sort of mulling over these ideas, as you sort of regain your composure through the arcane travel of the teleportation circle, and as you land on the large marble tile that has been engraved with the Flaris Academy identification circle. Smith, you and Varsha notice this interesting
What is that?
breeze.
I don't know. It kind of looked like something trapped in the Spellwind.
You don't see that?
I hear you, Smith. I think it's the opposite. As if something was trapped in the... like if you were seeing a breeze and then an image behind it show up, it's the exact opposite. So a breeze would be erasing whatever
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
like erasing the world around us.
Yeah, but it still goes, but it still sort of blows. So it's not nothing. So it's the opposite of the trapped theory, but just for the player's vision going through it. But it's like an anti-wind or like a mask of what's behind. You know, if it was chroma keyed green and it was a green wind, it would disappear. Anyway, go ahead as you were
Can
talking.
anyone detect the magic behind that?
Yeah, I'll try. I'll do that.
With my natural one, I don't think I'll be able to assist.
Correct. using Detect Magic. Let's take a look. Go ahead and make me a spell save. That's interesting. I'll do it. I don't have my dice.
Okay.
I made so many changes in my... That's an empty dice bag.
Am I doing the Arcana, though?
In my office. No, I'll make the save, and if I roll a 1, then it'll count as a... Close. But I rolled a 19. Okay, so your Detect Magic, we've seen before, is a lot like plucking a strand from the ground and then letting it go, much like a chalk line on construction sites or things like that, where you ping, and then you would sort of use the reverberation, or maybe even the dust, the arcane dust that would then flick off of that sort of strand that you pluck, and you would sort of detect it that way and interpret the magic that way. As you lift a strand of this reality for a moment and then pluck it and sort of listen to the reverberations, and if any sort of tone was to echo back to you, it does, and it does translate to you that there's magic nearby. The magic, however, is hard to decipher. I need to do some research. Let me Google something. What school of magic is Dimension Door? I just think you have it, right?
I want to say
do.
conjuration. Fairly sure it's conjuration.
Yeah, okay. Then it will be...
Yes, it is.
Yep, it comes back in a mixture of void and conjuration.
Uh-oh.
What does RO mean?
Well, it seems to be void magic and maybe conjuration. Implies maybe we're... My first thought is that this place is degrading. As this is a pocket, right?
What do you mean? This place is degrading?
Yes, this place is somewhere and nowhere at the same time. It's a pocket dimension, almost. It moves around.
We just promised the tree that it was fertile ground. Is that going to prove a problem with the ley lines?
I have no idea. I also don't even know if I'm right. It just... Maybe we brought it with us.
Brought what?
The breeze. When we traveled.
What happens if the, spell or whatever, the magic runs dry?
Well, I imagine that this... Well, Flayrus will move back to Hearth.
Is that going to be painful?
I'm not really sure. I've never done anything like this.
Are you asking if it will appear or if it will crash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know who did this in the first place? Who made this? Because I assume that there must be maintenance involved. If we just alert the right people, they might be able to come here and help to fix this. Surely,
I suppose we can tell Matazar.
the teachers, directors.
I mean, it's their problem anyway. We've got enough to deal with.
Tythair. Hello? Hello, Tythair? Inside your mind is the familiar voice of Matazar, Ty.
Yeah?
Hello? Yes, hello. So wonderful you answered. It seems as if I'm looking through the scryglass, and I've noticed that there seems to be quite a contingent of the sworn soldiers making their way toward Pendulum. Good news, though. I was able to go ahead and start setting some of the faculty to secure and also destroy the way in from Pendulum. So we will not be taking any new students until they clear off of the area. But the bad news is, don't go to Pendulum for a bit.
All right. I've actually got 2 new students for you, and we're on the beach. So, listen.
Oh, you're
give us,
here. You're here. All right. Very well. I will,
Does that-
Give us 10 minutes. We'll come up.
Yes.
Does
all
that?
right.
Well, if you're closing the way in, then don't we need to leave?
No,
Wait.
just going to Pendulum.
Okay.
Oh, I just realized out of character that we are not in the academy. We are just in Pendulum. Is that correct?
No. You are
We went to Flaris.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because otherwise, I was like, how are we going to get a tree up to that tower?
I just assume we're on the beach.
No, yeah,
Always
you're on the
show up
beach.
on the beach.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
You're on the beach. There is a large marble tile that has the waypoint. Your waypoint that you've unlocked. Matazar sort of says, yes, I'll be right there. Somebody will be. I think Brother Sykes is nearby as well. He's trying to look at some things. Maybe you'll run into him.
Yeah, we need to speak to you more than him right now.
Very well. I'll make myself available.
I turn to everyone else. I need a bath because I'm covered in blood.
Yeah. You are.
The second he says that, I reach into my cloak and my bag. I then realize I don't have a hand, and so I apparate one. And then I pull out my wooden frames, get the right reagents, and I create that bubble frame. And would you like a bath to relax, or would you like to walk through this thing and just get cleaned up?
Neither really, but I suppose I'll walk through that for now.
Okay.
I give it a filthy look because I hate magic.
You walk through this frame that's sort of it's almost like someone holding up like
A stick door frame.
like a stick door frame, but instead of it being see-through, there's this opalescent film on it, like a soap bubble. As you sort of walk through, it sticks to you for a moment, it pops, and then behind you, and as it does, so does all of the as it sort of and the mist of that bubble would pop, so does all of the blood off of you, and the grime and grit as it pops and disappears with it behind that frame. Then seems to grow another film over it again.
What is that smell?
Lemons.
Lemons?
And ozone.
Who wants
I
to
was,
smell like lemons?
I was
On
trying
my
some.
dish.
I could change it if you would like. It's only a small change to the equation.
No, I just need to be clean enough. What are we going to do with the tree?
Sykes looks
6.
eager and nervous, it seems like, as he's just sort of quietly looking around. Leaves seem to be a bit low.
So, welcome to Flaris Academy. I'm not exactly sure where the ley line is best here for you, but should be a nice change of pace and a lot of sun.
Yes, I've noticed that.
A big breath-like motion as the leaves sort of lift for a moment toward the light, And I think you hear as sort of takes in the energy from the area.
I like this place. What about you, Audrey?
As he starts to then creak and bend over and bend toward Audrienne, she looks up and sort of nods, still a bit worried about the area, and seems a bit cautious. As she just sort of is still, I think, holding on to a small branch as if it was the hand of her mother or her father, as if it was, or as if it was like a finger from Cytosix, as he then straightens back out and sort of like looks around and looks down at you all and takes in the scene.
Okay. Then could not that what you felt before just be them
Yeah.
breaking the way? Okay. All right. I was scared for a second.
Me too.
Well, I think I am ready to continue with our journey, but maybe a short break just so I can make sure I have all my reagents in order. I might need
Yeah,
to go
of
back to
course.
the pantry, get some more medical supplies, some blade sprig. I need to. Sorry, I don't need to bore you with the specifics, but just I need to prepare.
It's not a bore, Jet.
If you
Yeah,
say
we better
something.
get prepared. It's going to be the big one. Maybe Lane
Okay.
could get patched up as well.
A echoing from underneath the mask as a exaggerated head nod, sort of holds his stomach.
Might be a good idea for us to get a rest before we go.
Yeah.
Lane
I'm gonna
begins
go
to
take an actual bath.
Lane begins to walk, hopefully toward the right direction of where Flaris is. Turns back and looks at you all like, "Come on," but doesn't say anything.
Audrey-Anne,
Yeah?
I'm going to introduce you to my friend Martha. She's going to look after you while we all go and have a bath and a little kip, alright?
Okay.
You're going to like it here.
Okay.
Big magical place. Look at the sky.
I'm actually, I'm gonna look over at Audrey-Anne for a second, and I'm gonna look over at Varsha. I'm gonna walk over to Audrey-Anne.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still scary?
A little.
You've probably seen a lot of bad things happen. A lot of bad magic.
She nods.
I've done a lot of bad magic. But it's not all bad. You think this place is pretty?
She nods.
Do you ever wonder what it looks like from a bird's eye view?
She sort of shrugs and nods as well.
Will you trust me for a minute?
Looks up at Cytosix. Cytosix. A large, slow shrug from Cytosix and sort of looks back towards you and nods again.
If you decide that you want to learn here, there's a lot of good magic that you can learn too. stuff that, well, stuff like this. I'm going to begin to swirl my hands around in the circle in the air. You can see Spellwind begin to trickle in. And then I do the same thing to my other hand. And I say, Adrienne, hold on tight.
Okay.
I just learned a new trick. And I'm going to keep the circles moving. And as the circles begin to grow larger, I begin to take the Spellwind with my fingertips, and it begins to move around my legs. And like purple and white particles begin to emanate from my feet. And I grab Adrienne and I begin to fly.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check, just for fun.
As I drop her into the water.
She explodes. All right, perfect.
25.
That is a plus 10. All right, sweet. Yeah, as you do just this, your hands start to swirl and you start to apparate the Spellwind, and you begin to lift. She also begins to lift as well. There is a moment where she cries out in excitement and nervousness. I think also Sykes goes as he starts to see you float and goes,
Adrienne, you are flying.
as you start to then float off and away as she giggles as well. She is still holding on to you very tightly.
Sorry, I'm not the best at this. I just learned how to do it. Oh.
It's okay. She's sort of now yelling unnecessarily, but it's probably almost out of excitement as you begin to float in through the sky.
You see those pillars there? Those are different places where people learn and they do all different kinds of things.
Okay.
Just hold on.
Okay.
As they sort of float off, and you all sort of see the two of them float around as Smith gives Adrienne the grand tour of the exterior of Flaris Academy. Jet and Ty and Varsha, what do you all do? As Sidey Six is sort of watching eagerly, I think, as this happens as well.
I think we're walking up the beach and heading in now.
Yeah, I think as you make your way toward the beach, or up toward the beach, and with Lane sort of leading the way, as he is eager to get there. You see out front, toward the stairs, you see familiar Brother Sykes, as Brother Sykes has his hands against a large cliffside or rock face, maybe, as the stairs sort of wrap up and around this central monolith in the middle of the water in this picture here. And as he sort of, it seems like has his fingers spread wide and is like feeling and pressing in various spots of this cliffside, and just right next to the stairs as you approach. And he sort of doesn't pay you any attention as he is continuing to do this, like he's puzzled by something. I think he does turn, though. I wouldn't have him turn, but you brought a tree with you. So I think he does sort of hear that happen, and sort of slowly, like there's this, like that very deep rumble of the footfalls of Cytosix as Cytosix is approaching through this beach, and this confused look starts to then crop onto Brother Sykes as Brother Sykes sort of turns and looks in the direction of you all and says, "Hello."
Brother Sykes, it's good to know you're still here. And
Oh, yes, hello. Oh, it's good that you're here as well. What brings you back?
As he starts to then... Everything all right?
Yes.
Is everything done?
No,
Where
not
is
yet.
Smith? Is Smith with you? Smith! Smith, I'm so excited that you're here. As he starts to then...
He's not.
Oh,
He is
Oh, no.
giving a tour to one of the guests we brought. This is the
Oh.
other.
Move around so much. Okay.
Cytosix. This is Brother Sykes.
Hello.
What? Hello? As Brother Sykes just sort of calls out to the large voice, who am I speaking to?
I'm side 6.
Oh. Right. Where did you get this guest?
Near 9 U's.
Near 9 News. That's great. What are they?
I don't really know.
Oh,
Some
no.
sort of magical tree.
Oh. Well, it's wonderful to have you here. I think you may be a bit out of my mastery, but welcome.
Thank you. Is there any fertile ground that isn't sand?
I'm sure
It's just
There-
looking for a place to root.
is. Oh, well, that makes sense. Aren't we all? I was wondering if there is a.
What the fuck, Gord?
I had to. It was. I'm sure there is. I can't quite.
You've attacked Pumpkinberry with existential crisis.
No.
It was very successful.
Holy shit.
Sorry, it was hanging there. I'm sure there is. Could you, Jet? Are you alive, Jet? Oh, good. Jet's here. All right, good.
Yes.
I'm sure you know of any fertile ground or anything for the tree person.
I cram my notes and stuff back into my backpack and go. Yes, of course.
Very well, great.
Deeper
Wonderful.
inland.
Yes, I will. I will try to see if I can find someone who can help you with beginning your learning process. It is a student. Is a student that you have brought here.
I suppose. Why not?
Wonderful.
Why not?
Great. Very well. This is very weird. All right. Good to meet you. I do wish to speak with you all at some point, and I don't know if you trust the tree, but it is quite important.
Oh,
I don't know how fast we're going. Just
Sure.
okay. Just hold on. Try. Okay.
Whoa! I react. I cast Featherfall.
Okay. As you sort of both come in, you I think you throw a hand into the air, a bunch of feathers and down sort of falls
Bubbles,
into
actually.
and bubbles, excuse me, as they sort of make their way, and then latch onto both Smith and Adrienne as they are coming in at a pretty good clip, but then whoosh, start to slow down and then gently land.
Look at Jed and give him the thumbs up.
I don't. I put it back. Then I give him an iron thumbs up instead.
As Sykes then looks towards you, Smith. Oh, Smith, good you're here as well. I was worried. How is everything? Are we set? Because I believe it may be a good thing to do.
My hair is all crazy. I imagine Adrienne's hair is all poofed. Yeah, I think it's, well, not the best, I guess. I look down at Adrienne.
What is not the best?
We can talk about that in a minute. Maybe.
Very well.
Can we get them sorted out?
Yes, we
And,
can. Yes, there's others. I've met the tree.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Adrienne.
Oh, hello. You can call me Brother Sykes. Welcome.
Thank you.
The mousy, shy Adrienne still, her hair a mess too. She is sort of looks up at you, Smith, with these bright eyes, but also like these concerning eyes toward Brother Sykes, as she does seem to trust you a bit more and finds a little bit more comfort in you as you make your way toward Flaris.
I'll get you someplace where you can sleep.
As she nods in response.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah. Water.
Thirsty.
Is there a lake or anything nearby?
There's seawater nearby. But
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
No, there isn't. Not that I've charted. That wouldn't be one. Just these stones here, and we could get you something. Well, here. You know what? Open wide.
And then Site of Six and the bark seems to split where a mouth would be, and then Brother Sykes sort of throws his hands in the air and just splashes somewhere onto Site of Six some water, nowhere near his mouth, but it just splashes off of the
30
bark.
gallons.
30 gallons of water as I think then the brother or Site of Six.
Thank you.
As then these roots start to then move and then plod and find their way into where the water had landed, and then you start to see these smaller roots that act sort of like toes. They would sort of dig in into some of the loose, wet ground, and you could sense that Site of Six is drinking or enjoying the moment. Forgetting characters' names. Lane is, meanwhile, is sort of just there with a hand on his ribs and just sort of looking and waiting, as sort of like, I think, bats your shoulder tie, not necessarily to get your attention, but I think maybe a dwarf to get there, like a dwarf's attention, as it's just sort of like an aggressive pat on the shoulder as he sort of points with his head like we should fucking go.
Yeah. Do you need need some sort of medical attention, by the way?
No, I think I'm all right. I just get caught. Well, hold on.
Because we're going to go
There's
back.
like a.
I mean, that was nothing compared to what I reckon we're going to face
Oh,
in the capital.
I could probably get a little bit of help. I think it's probably. I could go for a bit. How much wood are you talking about? Because I could go for a bit more. But
I don't know.
like if I do this a bit, I'm feeling a tearing. Okay, I can't do that. All right, this is. Maybe I should. You're right. We should rest. I should rest. We should rest before we do anything.
Yeah, I just don't want you bleeding out before we go back. And I don't want you
Very well.
showing up half dead.
Try not to do that. Perfect.
Looks down at his side and sort of lifts up a hand, and there is a pooling of blood soaking sort of through his.
Do I notice?
What's your passive perception?
I was going to turn to Jet anyway and
Okay.
immediately be like,
Sure.
all right, we're going to put him in a bed and then maybe you can take a look at him.
He does not need to lie down unless he wants to. It depends on how long we're staying here for.
Well,
I
just figured we could all have a quick rest. And then I kind of look down at Lane's side and then back at Jet, and then maybe he can have a 10 minutes with his feet up.
Sure, of course. I just don't know what our time frame is. I don't know how long we have to wait for. I don't know what. You're lucky you didn't see what I saw, is all I'm saying. Sure, okay.
Well, we ain't going to be
Alright.
long, are we? So,
No. I just, okay. Anybody who needs any help before we go, please follow me, and I shall do the best I can.
I think Brother Sykes wanted to tell us all something first, right?
Sure. It really is no skin off my back, literally. I look at Lane.
Lane sort of gives a stubby thumbs up. But Brother Sykes goes,
Yes, I do wish to speak to you all about something of grave importance, but
Can it wait till he's had some medical attention?
yes. Are we?
We'll come and find you right before we leave.
Yes. Very well. Yes.
All right.
you see Brother Sykes. You know the way back? It's just up the stairs. As Brother Sykes is sort of still going back to massaging this cliffside.
Okay.
And then, I think as you're walking away, Brother Sykes goes,
Hold on.
and then,
Where is
and he holds out his hands once again and feels towards Side 6, and then starts to press, much like the prodding that he was doing at the cliffside, but on Side 6 as well, as Side 6 sort of turns and looks at you all.
Sorry, I'm just inspecting a bit of. There is something happening here. Varsha, with the dimension is having a bit of. There's something wrong happening, and we're trying to figure it out.
As he tries to subtly tell you that something's up about Flaris.
They
as
said they were
he's-
trying to close the pathway. The way here.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's not it.
That's not related to this?
I don't think it could be, but I'm not sure if that would be. It doesn't make any mathematical sense. And we could talk about it in a bit. Go get yourself felt better and stuff and things, and get a good watering and such, and learn what you can, little one, wherever you may be.
Are
As
you sure, brother? That seems pretty important.
it's important, yes. But if you need to, or if you want to stay back, we can chat.
Yeah, I will.
Wonderful. Yes. All right. Well, we shall meet you up there in a moment.
As Brother Sykes sort of waves you all off in the best way he can. And as everyone makes their way toward the residence halls to heal up or rest or what have you, Brother Sykes, a moment down by the stairs with Varsha, mentions...
So, we've noticing a increasing an increasing a bit of temporal displacement in a lot of the structures here. Have you noticed anything on your since your arrival? Have you noticed anything interesting?
The Spellwind came through, or it seemed like it was the Spellwind, but it was strange. It was like erasing what's here. It's very strange.
Yes, that's what I'm also discovering as well. We've
It has traces of void magic in it.
Yes.
Almost like when I cast the spell with the door to travel. It's like that.
Something is amiss. Matazar thinks that it could be because of it could be discovery. Someone knows that they are in trying to recall this dimension, recall Flaris Academy maliciously.
Is Jet still standing here?
I don't know. Jet?
No.
Okay. Then I will recount to him what Jet told me about right when we traveled here, and where he saw the loving queen in some sort of void dimension. Is it possible that it's her?
It could be very possible. There is... what I'm discovering about this has been happening for... it's been happening for several hours now. And from the way that I know of how Flaris is set in this dimension, in this being fueled by the arcane itself, it is like a flickering flame about to be snuffed out from your lantern that may be running out of oil.
Right.
It seems as if it's not necessarily being blown out by some sort of aggressive wind or an aggressor, but it seems as if it is merely diminishing in its life. And I'm uncertain on where you said you brought them from. Wait a minute. You said you brought Sykes from where the tree is from 9 U's, yes?
From outside of 9 U's, yes.
Outside of 9 U's?
Yes. They were trying to take its sap. The Sworn.
Oh, no.
What have we done? Should we not have brought it here?
Oh, no, I was saying, oh, no, about the sap thing.
Yes.
That is brutal. But bringing him here, I'm not uncertain. You did what you could, and you should have. I mean, to save. Otherwise, they would have done brutal things to the Spellkin. And, of course, Flaris being, of course, a safe haven, this would be the best place for him. Or them, both of them. Outside of 9, And Smith was successful?
Yes, with the ley line. And
Wonderful.
Side
And
6
these
was
are
right
two separate...
on the ley line. Before. Like he was rooted to it.
Oh, my. Right. So this is what I think happened.
Okay.
Maybe. Theory of mine. Side 6, this tree that can walk and talk, and demands water, and light, was rooted to a ley line.
Yes.
And then you brought him here.
Hopefully also on a ley line.
Yeah, well, yes, it is on a ley line. But I'm wondering, how will that have anything to do with... When did this happen? How long ago?
How long, GM?
Several
Do I
hours.
even know? A couple hours, maybe?
All right, well, I'm afraid what maybe is, you did the great thing by bringing him here to save a wonderful Spellkin. The only thing is, I'm not entirely sure what has happened to the ley line for a large creature like that to...
Do you think we weaken the ley line?
Actually, I think that's what happened, exactly. I think the ley line may be a bit weaker, but
in theory, if he roots to this ley line, we should see a change?
It's a possibility. So we should
this
get
tree
him...
might be the best protection Flaris has ever had. Potentially.
Yes, in theory, yes. We should get him rooted and comfortable as much as he can be.
All right.
Very well.
I have a... think I can... If you can amplify something that I can do, I think it might help. If it is malicious and somebody is trying to get in. I think I can ward it a little bit.
Have you heard about... has Matazar reached out to you? He's been trying to for a while.
Yes, about closing the entrance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you award what? Ward what?
I have a spell called Warding Wind, which I think just narratively is cool to be combating the Void Wind. But it would need to be, ritualistically bigger. But it basically, it deafens you and other creatures in the area. It extinguishes unprotected flames in the area that are torch size or smaller. It hedges out vapor, gas, and fog that can be dispersed by a strong wind. The area is difficult terrain for creatures other than you, and all attack rolls of ranged weapons have disadvantage if the attacks pass in or out of the wind. So I just think it might be fun to maybe try to fuck around with that and see if we can fight wind on wind, I guess.
Yes. We can discuss and see if we can augment any ideas you have and any sort of spells that we could...
like maybe make a torch that someone can stand at the entrance or something that does this.
That is interesting. We could try our best. There's only one way that I know how to make enchanted and items of magical import, and that is pretty grim. But you also have Jet, so Jet may be able to do that, or Smith or something. They've just seen their brains work, and they've come up with many contraptions that can utilize the arcane winds. But as far as our safety and the students, I think we should potentially get Site 6 in the ground.
Yep.
And see if that will do it.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, of course. Yes. Let me know. I'm going to try to figure out anything else.
We'll rush to go do that then.
Okay. You all make your way into the residential areas. Lane pushes himself right up onto one of the beds. And I assume Jet takes care of him. Heals him how it may be. There's an open wound that he's been trying to keep closed and hidden. He's been he's bounded a couple of times so far, but I think moving down here and also hopping up onto the bed, it opened up a scab, and there is fresh blood. But with an easy remedy and a quick spell, you can heal him. But a rest is needed. Sykes was left outside. I don't know if he'd be able to make his way inside the residence halls here. But I think that is where he was left.
Yes, I think he's too big for buildings and
He's too big for
busy
buildings.
being a tree.
Mm-hmm. He's too busy being a
to
tree.
a nice grove to make friends.
Okay. Make me a survival.
I will help him try to find
Sure.
a spot when I catch
Yeah.
up to him.
Yeah. Give me a survival as you do, just so I know how good of a grove it was.
24.
Great. 24 is awesome. As you found a great place. And that scene that we know happened very well because of the 24. Sykes was able to root and nestle his roots inside. The ground here, it's between two rocks on the other side, sort of overlooking, maybe on the left side here. If this was probably over in this area, overlooking the waters of Flaris Academy. Every once in a while, he'll sort of turn and look, but then is still once again, as he usually is when he's rooted. After you take care of, now jumping back toward the present, after you take care of Lane, I need you to make me an Arcana check.
An Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 23.
At this point, you also see the Spellwind sort of blow through the area, and as it sort of passes over Lane, the figure of Lane, the sort of that sort of masking happens again, where the image behind it, the things behind it, some of the things behind, actually all of the things behind, so including Lane, the bed, the wall, the stones on the outside, the water I think is still seen, but it sort of blows through the area, and all of those things that would be in your eye line aren't there, as you see the water as it is outside through that breeze for a moment. As once it blows away, those images and those structural things, the stones or the cliffside, the stone wall, the bed, and Lane have always sort of been there, but for a moment you could see through all those things as the breeze went through the area.
Oh. Oof.
And Varsh, at this point, you can make your way in toward this scene. Smith, what are you doing during this? I remember. Were you going to see Matazar?
Yeah, I would have been going to see Matazar.
Okay.
Hey,
Miss Pasha, something is not right.
okay, what's going on?
I don't know how to explain it other than I was walking on Lane and then it was as if what was before me was not,
Yeah,
but everything else was.
like a wind came
I
through and
suppose-
erased.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so. It wasn't like I blinked and it was gone. It was more like it washed away and came back.
Yeah. That's what Smith and I saw earlier.
Oh,
Brother
Oh.
Sykes has a theory that it's because we may have weakened the ley line by uprooting Site 6.
oh,
And in theory,
Okay.
it should be okay once he's rooted again.
isn't Site 6 like a parasite, no? They root to the ley line.
That's what
I'm
I would have
surprised.
thought.
Maybe a fluctuation caused it to surge. I don't know.
It's not the Empire's men, is it? Fucking around, a pendulum, trying to break in.
It
Could
is
be.
a possibility as well. So much of
would
this
know?
world that I thought I knew so much about, I don't anymore.
It's also
Smiths.
possible Cytus is a symbiotic relationship rather than just a parasite.
It is
And we just
possible.
didn't realize it.
Can't we get him to plug back into the ground or what?
That is what he is trying to do right now outside. I took him to a grove, and he deemed it worthy. We shall see. Cross your fingers for me.
Right.
Otherwise, I am not sure. But again, so much of this world I don't understand anymore. That there could be so much of Geoloon inside our own Earth makes no sense to me. What is a ley line? What is the moon?
Either way, I think we're running out of time.
Okay.
Alright, let's get the tree sorted. And then where's Smith?
Probably talking to the Grandmaster. Everyone should rest, obviously. We're in a hurry, but we're no good if we're broken.
Okay.
But we shouldn't take too much longer.
I will stay here until I need it, and I just boom, land on my ass, and I'm going to grab my books and grab my kit and just work on my potions and things for the journey ahead.
I just realized I think I need my sword repaired.
Oh,
Right?
that is a job for Smith, I think. It is in the name. I'm not sure if I am able to repair things like that. Your sword is magical, yes?
Yeah, so does that mean it wasn't broken?
I
don't
think it was
remember.
not broken, but its damage was reduced as
Yeah.
per our
Right,
discussion
okay.
before.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll talk to Smith.
Okay,
All right. See you guys in a few hours.
okay. See you in a bit.
As we change scenes over toward the doors outside the quarters of Matazar's office. Smith, you're there.
Come in, yes. Oh, there you are.
As Matazar was craning over and looking into the scry glass, and they look toward you. They have a jeweler's eye, it looks like, in their eye socket, or in their being held by their eyes, their eyelids, and their eyebrows, or whatever that is. They're flexing their eye to do that. They take it out and they rest it on that. That's thin bar with the like the Y holder where it would fit the jeweler's eye, and sort of turns and looks towards you and says,
Ah, yes, good. I was just about to send for you.
I'm here.
Yes, so you are. Did Tide tell you?
Yeah.
Good. They seem to be right outside of Flaris. I'm sorry, Pendulum. They aren't all of this hubbub about Brother Sykes and Flaris is getting me a bit worried. So Flaris is on my mind. Pendulum, on the outskirts, there seems to be. I tried to do a count as best I could with the scry glass. There seemed to be 50, and several griffins. But
Okay.
they aren't. They've spent several hours outside and haven't advanced into Pendulum at all, as if something is keeping them there.
Well, you broke the connection from
Yes,
Pendulum to Ferris.
yes, we did. Yes,
So-
but have you spoke to Sykes yet?
Briefly.
Yes, well, Brother Sykes is trying to figure out a reason why we may be having some fluctuations at the... Yes, so you know.
I'm going to take out the Tears of Geoloon.
Oh.
And
wow, all right. These can be very helpful in restoring... Where did you get these? These are from the ley line.
you knew.
Well, yes, I've got the scry glass.
No, I mean you knew that the ley line contained the Tears of Geoloon.
Well, it's a theory, you see.
Well, it's no longer a theory.
That is...
Sidus 6 is, I don't even really know where to begin. Sidus 6 is one of the creatures that we brought here. They have a connection with 9U's. They are a tree person.
Yes, I saw.
Anyway, Sidus 6 was able to bring me down into Hearth, far down below the surface, into what I believe is the actual ley line itself. Caverns littered with Tears of Geoloon.
Littered with tears.
More than you have ever seen.
Must have been left from the Sundering.
That was what I expected. Yeah. But,
that is brilliant. And this tree person brought you back with these.
well, yeah, I went down there and I harvested them, and I figured we might be able to use them for an anchor for a pretty...
Precisely, yes, we can. You can. Yes, this is something that can be done. I am quite impressed.
Don't be impressed until it works.
Very well. I am worried, and this is why. Pendulum, yes, is closed off, and I made sure of it. The only thing is, we have several swaths of sworn just outside our gates, as if it were. And if the dimension collapses, Flaris is to collapse, Flaris being, of course, the entire space itself, we would then reappear back in the material plane.
Sounds like you better get ready.
Yes. We would either be fighting many, and maybe this tree person is... I haven't fought in... I don't know... Yes.
There was... I don't know how much you scryed.
Well,
But Sidus 6 was used by the Sworn. They used... The only way I can piece this together is Sidus 6 was used as some kind of filter for ley line energy and natural tree personness. I don't know. Some kind of magic that was used. They harnessed their sap, and one of the Sworn was forced to drink it, and they transformed their body. I imagine, nearest that I can tell, that Sidus 6 has been rooted so long in this location, this tree person, that they are in fact infused with much of the ley line's energy, and It might be some sort of conduit or,
Exactly my thought. Conduit. It's a perfect way to phrase it.
yeah. So, they're here now, and I think the rest of the group was going to find a place for Site of Six to root.
To rest. Root. Good.
And if the ley line energies still move through Flaris, then, well, it should be a pretty powerful conduit.
Yes, in theory. Let's hope it works. So, I worry if Flaris is to collapse, we will then appear just off the shore of Pendulum. So
if only you had a school full of very powerful, talented people that could use magic at your disposal.
Yes.
Look, I know you didn't want to use this place as an army. I understand.
Yes.
There's a lot of people in the world that don't want to be forced into combat or fighting or anything like it. I've forced them into it myself. Sometimes it just happens. So just get your shit ready.
Very well. Last resort would be, yes, of course, I will defend the students and what I need to, and of course, Flaris, and for all it is, and the Spellkin, of course, for all of Hearth and all of the Spine, of course. As a last resort, I will do that. But I still feel like we have an opportunity to still move these tiers into where they need to be. Right.
Yeah. We're still going ahead with the plan that we have in place.
Good. Oh, I thought we were. All right. Wonderful. What do you need from me to do that?
Well, you're gonna need a lot of reagents and materials.
Very well. We have several. We have an entire floor and wing for all of the materials you could want. You could talk to Snazzle. There are no. Okay.
No.
All right.
Look.
Or you could sign out through the master of.
The book that we found detailed how Flaris originally came to be here.
Hmm.
It's some sort of plane shift spell or teleportation spell. A lot of this stuff seems to have a lot of similarities and is based in conjuration magic. So I think we're going to need similar reagents and materials to do the same thing. So I'm going to cross-reference that information with what we have now, and I'll come up with a list and get it to you. You get it to the people that you know need to get it. I don't remember any of these people. Snazzle's fine.
Very well. I'll do that.
Gesundheit.
Beg your pardon?
It's something we say in the sworn. Never mind.
Very well. Yes. So write me a list of things you need. We will get it to you, and you will head toward Evervale whenever. I will have your back, and I will be watching from the scryglass if you need anything. I also have access to this stone, as sort of points over toward the rock that is on a coaster near the scryglass, and it's the two-way stones that I think Ty has the other one. And you would recognize it as those communication stones that Jet made.
I'm sorry, he gave me one of them?
He gave the group one of them, and then Ty gave one to
Oh, so
Matazar.
I'm sorry. I just missed that part. You said he was using one now.
Yeah, he was using one to talk to Ty. So Ty has one rock, he has the other, and that's how he's been. So he's just like, oh, I've got. Then he just gestures towards and reminds you that if you need him,
Right.
Ty has the other stone.
Okay. All right. Well, regardless, there's still a lot of work to do. I got to get going.
All right. I will think of a way, and I'll give you designs as well as yes.
The two people that we brought here, Side of Six and the little girl named Audrienne.
Right.
We don't know what happened to her parents yet. We didn't have time to go investigate 9U's.
Oh, they're fine.
Did you?
They're fine. I was when I was scrying and saw you go down into the ley line and come back. You were
Where
also.
are they? Are
They're
they still
fine.
in
Everyone's
9U's?
fine. No, 9U's is fine. You were all talking about whether or not 9U's is going to get seized or anything, but no. The lucky for us, ish, the Swan and the battalions walked right by 9U's and right to Pendulum, so they're fine. Should
All right, then.
Is there something we should?
Yeah, I mean,
Send
we just
someone
kind of
for-
kidnapped their daughter.
Oh. I'll send someone. I'll
Yeah, that's a
Go.
good idea.
go myself. How's that? It's probably best if the headmaster makes their way and try to. That's probably less stress for you. I'll do that. I'll go ahead.
You
and
figure it out.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. Pop over and pop right back. What could go wrong?
Okay. We'll get to it.
We will. Get me that list
As you sort of make your way out, referring to the reagents.
Snazzle is if you see Snazzle before I do, that's the person.
Remind me to cover up if I have to use the lavatory.
As you all begin to make your rests for the evening and prepare, what does that look like? Ty, let's start with you. As we see you.
This is Cartography. It's still on here. It looks like that. He's got that
that's what it looks
face. I think I'm in the same room as Jet. I think I'm sitting with
Sure.
Lane, and there's probably like a little table in there, and I've just got my feet
Yeah.
up on that, and I'm just chain smoking. I didn't really take any damage. I didn't get injured.
Yeah.
So it's just like catching my breath type stuff and just psyching myself up.
Just Ty being bored in flares again.
Yeah, just it's not much.
Just classic.
Also,
All right,
everything
Rocky
we need
IV
to
montage.
Yeah.
do. Yeah, there's just not
And then
really
Lane.
much to do without Smith. So I think it's just kind of sitting around waiting for Smith. I don't think I'm like sleeping or anything like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, just sort of
You're laying back, throwing a dagger in the air and catching it and throwing it
yeah.
in the air.
The returning dagger's just
Yeah.
like going sticking into the door and then coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're throwing it at the ceiling, it's
Yeah, and then it just comes back to the hand and then throw it again. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's really anything going on really. Not really
Okay.
got anything to prepare for.
Sure.
Not got any particularly strong thoughts, just more of that kind of itching to to get on with the job.
When this job is over, and I don't know if I'm talking to Ty or if I'm talking to Brad right now, but when this job for Ty and this quest and adventure for Brad, what do you think what do you think is in the future for Ty? Does
he
he even know?
100% thinks he's about to die.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't
that
think
helps.
I think he thinks none of us are really going to come back from this because this is
Okay.
just extreme
Yeah.
what we're going to do, and it's going to be 5 of us against, everyone. And even if we're successful in pulling off this this job, and we teleport the God King or the Queen to another realm, and it is a success and it gets rid of them, their forces aren't just going to go, well, I guess that's that. They're going to keep fighting. So we're probably going to have to fight our way back out, and we're probably going to have to deal with a lot of unrest. So the odds of us getting in there, fighting all the way into what would presumably be the castle or under the castle, successfully pulling this off, and then getting back out of Evervale, I think are extremely low. If this was possible, Ty would have done it years ago and gone into the bedroom and tried to kill the king, in his sleep or something.
Right.
So I think just deep down he's kind of expecting
A tragedy.
Yeah, it's more of a focus on getting it done. It's absolutely imperative that we get it done because they might not get another chance to do something like this.
It's sort of always what you were raised and grown to do. You're like, we the intent, that is, or we fight so the next generation can thrive. And that is sort of, it seems like Ty has always had that sort of mindset where it's like, if I die fighting, I know that the person behind me will live. So
it really is just that. And I don't think Ty is really able to think beyond that. I don't think that's in his mindset to be able to.
Sure.
Before a job, at least. I think at other times he does think a lot about the future and what might come, different generations, ideas and things. But when it's this kind of pre-job agitation to get it done, it's just as long as we complete our goal, doesn't matter if I live or die, lose my hands, it's just go. So it's just that. I think he's just focused, but there is probably some it's the knife and the fidgeting and pre-job agitation.
Okay. Jet, what about you? What is this what's going through your mind during this? It's like the night before. I don't know if if you've played that. There's a table. I think it's the tabletop game called The Night Before, and it's like there's a big battle the next day or a big storm. I think it's called a storm anyway. And you go around the table and you talk about your character before what their thoughts are before the battle or whatever this end times is. And I feel like that's sort of what's happening here. What's going on in Jet's mind before this?
Okay.
As if tomorrow morning, not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's like this tension here is like as if tomorrow morning you're going to battle. What would be the night before battle for Jet?
I am trying to think practically.
Yeah.
Because if I think any other way, I won't be able to think at all. I am working on all my reagents and making sure everything is ready and fit for purpose, the way it's supposed to be, where it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be. I've been working on a whole bunch of different things at once, a lot of things theoretical, hypothetical, and I think if anybody is watching Jet, who's in the corner minding his own business, he's on his knees around a bunch of ramshackle, quickly set up chemical apparatuses. I've got all my test tubes, vials, and flasks. A small little blue flame burns on one side. Violet is flying around in a circle, almost as if Violet is thinking while I'm thinking. They're the gear that's moving as I'm thinking, as I'm looking at all my things. Every now and then you will see from a few of the alembics, you'll see like a bubble come and inflate and then just pop. Maybe perhaps if anybody is paying attention, they might see one time a bubble emanates from one of the shallower vials, and as it does, you see 2 more bubbles appear on top of it, and then another larger bubble in the front, and then as it just continues to grow and grow until it pops with a poof, and then just dissipates. It startles me. I maybe cause a bit of a stir. People look at me. I go, sorry, and I go back to it, and I'm just working on all different parameters for what might happen in the future of the events that will transpire tomorrow. That is what I am doing.
Okay.
As for thoughts, my work keeps my head empty. I don't need to think about what's happening. I do not need to think about that a loving queen, or the way she looked at me, not seeing me, but me seeing her, and every permutation of her, and everything that she's trying to do with this, with the plane, with us, and just like that, I'm back at it. I'm working, and I'm just. It's almost as if you see my eyes dart around for a bit. They shake as if maybe perhaps I'm experiencing an earthquake that only I myself can perceive, and then I'm back focusing and darting again at my apparatuses, and I'm back at it again, and that is all that is going on here.
Yeah. I also imagine, and this is probably just player talking to the GM here, that you and that Jet and Smith are both probably working on whatever these anchors are, whatever these, whatever item, whatever artifact that you would both need to fashion, or also with some of the faculty here to create these anchors. There, you have 4 of them. Putting them in, I think there was talks of putting them in cardinal directions, or maybe anti-cardinal directions, for to surround this castle. To then utilize a whole bunch of. This is hard, probably hard for Jet now that I'm thinking about it, because this is a lot of magic that Jet is now learning about.
This
is like out of your element, it seems like, right?
Entirely. This is mostly Smith's purview.
When it comes to reality and Geoloon and in reality and tech, it's probably out of your element. But you have a very good alchemic and potion and mixture and a type of magic. So yeah, like you have this earth style artificing, and so yeah, this may be probably hard to. All right, I wanted to figure out how that was going to be done. Yeah, so Jet probably has.
My school of magic is one of the oldest in the world. It is very set in its ways and very rigid. And quite frankly, anything else that is around, anything else that I perceive, anything else that, is of the void or of this, the void is devoid of my magic.
Yeah.
So, looking at my hand once more as it emanates from my wrist, I look at it perplexed.
Yeah.
And
it says magic you don't understand, but it's a part of you now.
It is a part of me. It is. I will help wherever I can, however I can. But what I can do is not. I'm not a sorcerer.
Yeah.
I do not create magic out of a whim. I create out of a perceived knowledge of what is around me.
Yeah.
And perhaps one day that might change. One day I might be able to understand or perceive what this void is, even though it is now intrinsically part of me. But until then, I will only be able to help as and when I am asked. I cannot
Best you can.
be proactive.
Okay. Oh, that's so stressful. Okay. Thank you, Jet. And Varsha. If this was the night before battle, which it sort of is, but that's the energy, right? What do you think she'd be doing during this? And this is going to, of course, count as our mechanical long rest, but...
Long rest, okay.
Yeah.
I also didn't take any damage, covered in blood and guts and all of that, but so I
Someone's
think...
brains, yeah.
Yeah. I'm taking a bath, which I've done before to kind of steady my mind, and I'm thinking about how important this is, I guess.
Yeah.
And if I made the right decision in being strong-willed, maybe even a bit too proud to ask for help from whatever these gods were that were
Yeah.
offering me power. And there's probably a little bit of doubt creeping in while I think about that. I know I want to be strong enough. And I think about what it means to earn your rest and how I've been waiting for that kind of ever since I became sworn, and how I've kind of been ready to die, and I don't feel that way anymore. I would very much like to survive this battle, and I think that's a weird feeling for me.
Yeah. So much to prove, too, when
Yeah.
it comes to an uprising and also trying to take out and trying to utilize such a landmark of power, a pillar of, lack of a better word, power, to make a statement as well.
Yeah,
you know,
it's the strangest thing
yeah.
because it's not that traditional.
No.
I probably think about that a little bit too, being robbed of the ability to, behead the God King or the Loving
Right.
Queen, because
Yeah.
that's not our plan. We don't get this epic fight with them, but
Yeah.
in a way, it's the only way to win, because they've tried everything else before. They've been
Yeah.
doing it for years and years, and this is what I've been saying all along, is that there has to be another way, and there has to be a way to hit it with either propaganda or statements like this, powerful statements
It's worked
that
before.
yeah. And I think, but I am still human, and I still have the desire for like bloodlust and revenge, especially
Of
after
course.
seeing what happened to Jet, and how scared he is of the Queen and everything. So I think I do feel quite a bit of discomfort and jealousy, maybe even a little bit, at the idea that if Smith pulls this off, then I don't get to do that. I don't get to have that moment
that moment.
because it's very personal for me to be able to kill the God King. Yes, a lot of it is for all of the Spellkin, but a lot of it is for me.
For you.
And so I
You've already given a lot to the Spellkin. You want to have something for you.
yeah.
Yeah. That's totally understandable. Okay. Physically and literally, what is she doing, though? Now we know what she's sort of feeling, but what do you think she's doing during this time?
Probably relaxing in the bath.
Right, yeah, you said that. Okay.
Meditating. Yeah,
Mhm.
probably
Sure.
just kind of. I think
Yeah.
everybody else is feeling, like fidgeting and feeling a little
Yeah.
bit of anxiety, but I think the only anxiety I'm feeling is at the idea that I want to live. I want to
Yeah.
live, and that's very strange for me. I go into most battles ready to just give everything, and then if I die, I die. But I think I would very much like to be on a farm with Ty and see how that goes, and see if that's something that we can do.
When do you think that change happened in your headstrong rush into battle, recklessness, or what it was before, to now being, I want to try to, the romanticization of living through it? When do you think that changed? Was there a specific point, or is this a moment now where she's realizing that's
a
a
moment
thing?
now where,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
she realizes it now. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
And I think I would probably try to recall when the moment was that it changed. because I feel like in battle I've still been the same. I've still done the same things out of habit. I've still, just used my entire spell list or, like whatever as quickly as I can. But now I, as I'm thinking about how I will go into this battle, I realize that I am having thoughts like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this, or I should do, like hang back, or I should. And I think that's a little bit confusing and surprising.
Yeah.
And then there's also a little bit of anxiety of, will that make me fail? Because so far I've succeeded because I don't care and I'm willing to, give my life away. So now is this going to cause me to let everybody down type thing? So yeah, there's not as much anxiety as I think we saw with Ty and Jet, where they're fidgeting a lot. I think it's just calm, laying in the bath, soaking until there are wrinkles.
Yeah. Ty's not anxious. Ty's just on the surface. Ty, you probably know that he is. But Ty looks to be bored as I throw in the dagger into the ceiling. But you can read Ty. We all know that. Can read Ty more than, I think Ty also knows that he can read Ty. But yeah, that is good information. Thank you. And Smith, what are you doing, like physically and literally here, and also what's going through your mind? If this is the night before battle, it's probably your last long rest before battle. But what goes on inside that mind of yours?
I imagine that there is a shirtless mathematic blacksmithing montage that's going on.
Okay, all right.
Sort of
and it's just the mathematics there for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. Just the
unrelated.
Just the rhythmic sound of a hammer and tongs and anvil, and the rhythm helps me focus.
Yeah.
It is something that I've experienced many times. I am not nervous. I know this well. This feeling. Instead, what I feel is conflicted. And I don't know how to feel. On the one hand, I have this opportunity to prove that I'm a different person. But I don't know if I am. I think I'm trying to be. And I think that even though I don't know this as Smith, Varsha talking about how she feels almost jealous of the situation from Smith's perspective. From my perspective, I'm seeing this as something that I don't want her to experience what I've gone through. And how many people I've killed. And how many voices I still hear. This feels almost like a way to bypass that. And I don't know if that was my entire motivation behind it or not, but it's definitely something I'm thinking about. I'm wondering if I did this for Varsha, or for myself. And I don't know.
Do you think there anyone else that you're probably doing this for? Or do you think those are the only two options? Either Smith or Varsha you're doing this for?
That's a good question. Ty and Jed have become important to me. But I don't know if I'm doing it for them. I just kind of know that it has to be done. And whenever I've gone into battle, whenever I've done what I've done, it's been logical and cold and efficient. I think this is efficient, but it's definitely not cold. This is a lot more than I've ever really thought about the consequences of my actions. It's different. I don't think there's any doubt there, though. I know it has to be done. But I'm questioning the motivations more than anything.
I love that. So we have probably an evening of Smith creating and designing and making these anchors, which I'd like to know what they look like. As
and also to replace to fix the weapons and stuff that have been
right,
damaged.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you were also, I mean, that's a quick, easy mending spell because you have access to that. But if you did not have access to that, it would probably take all night to repair them. As well as you've designed, you spend the night doing this, but in the surface, you know what needs to be done, but you don't know the motivation to. You can't put your thumb on the motivation of why, of who is it? Who am I doing this for? What am I doing this for? I know it needs to be done though, and that's really cool to sort of ponder and have that thought about. Because I also have that same thought when I'm doing my mythomatic montages. I'm also going, why am I doing this? What do the anchors look like? You've got these large crystals, about a foot and a half of large geolune crystals. They sort of look like soul stones from Skyrim, if that helps anyone picture them. They are crystals from the Sundering, which was back when the moon of Geolune crashed into and split the planet in half, and then for some divine intervention, divine intervention, the planet was put back together and is now in that is now polar locked, always the south, always facing towards the sun, and now the moon of Geolune orbits around Hearth. But because of that destruction and that cataclysm, the Sundering, it has left crystals shorn into the surface, and also now we know in deep underneath the caverns of Hearth as well. And every once in a while, I think the tail of Geolune that is still a fractured mess that still sort of falls into the orbit or the pole of Hearth, and creating some more sometimes. But you were lucky enough to find a cavern with 4 large, worth a fortune. Each one of these crystals, they can be used for various things. Mostly, at least in the Sworn, it's used for Magitech to help power your suit or to help power other things as well. You also met someone along the way named Selray, who in Blue Falls, who had devised a way to utilize and the Spellwind to charge them and to help utilize a lot of that technology of these Geoloon tech to help sustain a constant portal deep within the spire of Blue Falls, creating a fountain out of a mountain, pretty much. But what do you do, and what does your design of these anchors look like?
It's a combination of various metals and using the tiers of Geoloon as sort of gems along the metal, almost like they're inserted into slots into various pieces of metal. The anchors themselves are sort of spike-like in their shape.
Piton-esque.
So that they can be hammered in to various locations, and the gems are part of the shaft of the spike, interwoven through there with different combinations of metals, steel and iron, as well as copper, to help channel the various energies from the gems. So there's some intricate gem work that's sort of been done, and there is a lot of metal work that's done here.
And now you've made it canon that Damascus metal holds and conducts Geoloon tech better than any other metal, so that's pretty cool. So you've got like these pitons and maybe these focal points of these crystals that would need to be hammered in, and then I would assume, because I also am trying to figure out for plotting maybe an event or something later, how this would work. So I'm assuming that there's probably a focal point as well as a bit of magic and maybe even like this ethereal laser that is shot between one to another. Therefore, you can create this barrier or this perimeter around something. But yeah, I think that is where we will leave you as you sort of rest for the evening. Thank you. It gives me something to think about and percolate on when it comes to the anchors. But you all spend your evening, as you do, preparing for war, whether or not that may be what happens. But it is the next morning as you all make your way out into the shore, or at least out of the residence hall, making your way toward the teleportation circle. My question is, what do you do, and which circle are you going to? Perfect.
Did it again.
In case we forgot.
I think we're all slow-mo walking towards the teleportation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, we need to
Us four, Lane,
badass walking
We
song
need
here.
the
in the background.
credits theme. That
In
one.
the background,
Yeah.
the tree is rooting itself into the ground. The creatures are flying
there we
past the thing, and the five of us are slow-mo walking towards the teleportation circle. I'm going to spin my sword around once or twice and then scabbard it.
Uh-huh. And then Spellwind music kicks on as you're getting ready for it. So as you as the now I can't get this image of you all just badass walking towards the
I wasn't kidding. That's exactly what I
That's
was doing.
100%. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Legitimately think that we just
Varsh has cast slow
Psyched
time or
up
whatever
Yeah.
to get decelerate on everybody. Yeah.
only Varsha actually sees this. Technically, we're all just walking along, you know,
But to
preparing
her, she's
ourselves.
cast
but
decelerate and
she's
everyone's
cast
slow
slow
down.
mo just because she wanted it to happen.
He'd be entering photo mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just photo mode.
Music.
Exactly. That's what happens. Yeah. So my real question is, where you go to the teleportation circle, but which one are you going to? You have access to Dead Grove, which is outside the city, if you wanted to do another sneak in, or you have access, if you wanted to, and I should probably actually use this music, to the throne room. Well, the throne room. It's inside the castle.
I know what I want.
I
Okay.
want to do the throne room, but it makes
know.
sense that we sneak in,
Yeah.
so it's just annoying. I want to bifrost into the fucking throne room and just start
Yeah.
throwing knives at people, but
Yeah.
and
That
I don't know.
Could
if
be
we
done
want
too. I mean, it's really up to you.
I
If you
wonder
wanted to
if
have that,
we-
if you wanted to have that Darth Vader end of Rogue One
Yes.
scene where everybody's running away from
But that's
Ty,
not the plan, though.
we can
is
do
it?
that.
The
No,
plan
it's
isn't to
not, but I mean, you do need to-
engage them directly.
Right. I mean, you can engage them.
Ty
Me
a
as the
year ago,
DM
or
here, you can engage them directly
in-game?
while going to where you want to be, or do you
Yeah.
want to sneak in? I mean, it's really
Ty
up
would
to
have
you. Do you want to raise the
absolutely
alarms or do you want to sneak in?
killed for this teleportation circle
Right.
knowledge a year ago, just before I met the party, to just teleport in and have
Yeah.
a go.
Yeah, you've mentioned it many
Now-
times. You're like, we should just go in there and kill him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now I think the plan is to head under the castle, and the
But I'm just saying we could maybe
the
be a
plan is
distraction.
to go under. Stop it! Stop. You're not 13 years old. Okay, this is real life.
This is real life.
This
Okay?
is happen. But Brad,
grow up.
but Brad,
Plan is to go
Right.
under,
Dungeons and Dragons.
because we can
during
use
this campaign for
the
over
Dead
a year,
Grove.
can we please go into
We
the
can-
throne room and kill some people?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
While Smith is
Okay,
while
yeah.
Smith is scratching in the Dead Grove one,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ty and Jet are like Scooby Doo behind him, rewriting it. Yeah.
Okay. But you have it like on your hand, the circle that is
Yeah.
the really one that you've probably.
Me and Jet were up all
we,
night
we
planning
you're
this.
trying to find the right. Okay. Yeah. So you yeah. I don't think it's gonna be the throne room, but it'll be definitely in the castle somewhere. But that's totally something we can do.
If that is the case, I have a plan once we get there.
See? Perfect.
Look at this. All right.
Smith?
So do I.
How do you feel about it?
Whack feels different than Smith does.
Right.
I know, we all feel that way.
How does Whack feel
what does
about
Whack
it?
want to do?
Because Smith may not know if they're secretly like Smith's like, all right, let's go, guys, and then you're in the castle, and then Ty and Jet are like trying to like get rid of the ink from their hands as they're like,
Smith wants to go to Dead Grove for sure.
of course.
Yeah, okay. We should probably be smart and go to Dead Grove.
What does Whack want to do?
I want to abuse all of my D&D knowledge and decimate anything in my path.
Okay.
But I'm not going to do that.
Yep.
All right.
I am.
We know what Smith wants.
Yeah,
We
I'm
know
not
what-
even asking. I'm setting
You're just
things up
doing
for
it. You're setting it
Dead
up.
Grove.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That was the plan.
You got
Unless anybody is
Nope.
Changing it. Yeah,
chiming
okay.
in,
All right.
I'm not doing
Just
anything else.
Having a power fantasy at the particular moment.
Yes.
Then I
Mhm.
will head to Dead Grove.
Okay. So you all gather around for some of you, what you would think, one last leap into the enemy territory. You start to look, and some of you recognize the familiar etchings of Dead Grove. Behind you, across the water, there is a tree blooming, and that tree is Cytosix. Nearby, I think just a short distance away is Adrienne, sort of watching as you all make your way toward the circle, and as if it has always been. I need you all to make an Arcana check as you travel through these two planes, Flaris Academy and also the material plane, where the spine is.
Oh my fucking god!
It's okay.
All the time to roll the natural 1, dude. We're going to her room. All right.
Natural 20.
I knew it.
Natural 20 counts it.
I fucking knew it was gonna happen as soon as I saw you do the natural 1. I knew it.
The natural 20 count.
You want to know why? Do you want to know why? It's because you.
Because then 20 is worse than a 1.
Never mind. I was going to get
That's
into
weird.
a
That's
really weird quantum physics, metaphysical theory here, but I wasn't going to. All right, so you made us jump planes into the one that you thought was going to happen, which was this one. And we all accepted it subconsciously. As we see you roll a critical failure and a critical success, they can cancel each other out.
Oh.
Because we've been playing Star Wars and that's how it works. But also, that's fucking dope.
I said it in my head before I did the roll.
I love
I said
that.
this is
I
going
was
to
like,
be a
what
natural
goes
20.
around and then like comes around.
Or if you all have any offers of something cool that could happen here, I'm down for it. But also, we could just cancel it.
You know, like as
I think. Oh yeah.
Or something does happen and then Smith saves, which could be
Yeah, I
fucking
think
cool.
that. I think it should be that.
it's one of those moments where we're all fucking flying through the Bifrost.
Right. Thank you.
And as we're going through, clearly Ty is about to get fucking yeeted out of the fucking wormhole, and Smith grabs him. Whether
He's
this
about to
is
fall off Rainbow Road and then like,
whether
Yeah.
this is like a spiritual thing or whether this is a physical thing, it's
Oh my God! Can it please be physical? Because then it goes all the way back to episode 1 where you guys were like hating each other. Please, for the love of
we're
God.
all flying through this
Oh my
thing.
God.
Ty hates magic and he carries that energy straight into this thing, and Smith embraces it for the first time. Embraces his
Spellkinness.
friendship and his spellkinness.
Putting the kin in spellkin.
and he that energy is what allows him to keep Ty within the whatever it's called, the wormhole, the Bifrost, whatever it is.
Ty, you were about to pop out in the throne room. You wanted to, and I think maybe
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, when you were thinking, and also maybe your thoughts as well as Varsha's vengeance, right? That she's been sort of marinating on over the evening, probably rooted inside of your psyche. And when you went through, you were able to.
Can me and Smith do one of those like in the movies? When they grab
Yes.
Yeah.
and like
then,
even though, and we do one of those like gruff man nods to each other.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, exactly. And but never acknowledge
It's just
it.
like when we shook. It's just like when we shook hands.
I want to shake his hand. Sorry.
When? In the beginning?
Well, when we shook hands after what happened with Varsha.
Oh yeah.
It was on the road.
Yeah.
In the beginning, we hated each other, and then we came to a mutual understanding of each other, and then we came to an actual liking of each other.
So what happens is, you all through this, the world starts to melt in this interesting way as I think the reality starts to bubble and distort, as it always sort of has, as you sink into this planar travel, whichever that may mean to you, and you are all sort of traveling together in whatever you may interpret that as. One of you, whoever is interpreted as Ty, begins to then veer off or go ahead. You all seem to slow down and sort of find a place. And then, it's really good. And then we do have that moment where this image of Smith and Ty, you are blinded by vengeance as you travel through the Bifrost and through the planar travel here, as you feel a tugging on your psyche, and you sort of look back, and then you and Smith share this this gruff man nod as
I understand what like sports people feel when they're like they're not involved, but they're like, yes, that's what I'm feeling right now.
Is this sports?
This is sports. This is the sports of D&D. Thank you. I'll take it. As you, and that's got to be a compliment. I can't wait to tell my dad. So as you,
Go my favorite sports team, go.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, guess what, Dad? I just did a sports-like show. You proud of me? Anyway, so the you.
No.
Let me know what he said.
All right. Well,
I can live vicariously through you.
great talk, Dad. As you grab out, and there is this firm handshake and a pull back in, you are brought into Dead Grove. Unfortunately, something does happen as you land in Dead Grove. A clattering at your feet. Every one of your feetsies, every one of your little toesies. Each one of you that clamber to a stand in Dead Grove.
Before you tell us, can I say I get flung out and I'm like rolling across the ground, and I don't know if you're about to have us roll initiative or whatever, but I want to start prone if that's
You want to? Okay. As you,
I think I get like whipped out of this thing, and
I think so
I
too.
launch across the grass.
I think so
just
too.
a ding, 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 ding as the sword rolls over on my hip.
Mm-hmm. What I think happens is, as you all sort of gracefully come out, and I think there's a moment where I think you all gracefully land, but Smith, you have like this heave where you're like throwing Ty and like trying to aggressively place him in this moment, but it may happen too fast. So I think Ty, you tumble and roll, and Smith, you do this like heave thing as you're like as you physically grabbed him to throw him here into Dead Grove. Ty, you roll from onto this marble slab or this old stone grout slab, off into the soft mud. This about an inch or so of probably moss or that like wet ground cover plant. It's probably moss maybe. As you stain some of your clothes and get some streaks of mud as well. But everybody else, you land gracefully. But there's still that sort of that fine clatter that happens. Jet, you look down at your feet and you see, and you grab for your wrist, and you grab for your iron wrist, where the bracelets were, and they are scattered across the ground. And you start to look at everyone else's, and everyone sort of raises their hand in response, and all of the bracelets that you have had and those items to shield your mind and location from the loving queen are now scattered and shattered across the ground.
Can I do something, or are we?
You can do it next week.
Next time. Okay.
Search your feelings.
Have audio. Hey, and we are
Your
in,
ideas
what is going on right now?
live within you.
Stop that.
Do we have audio?
We're good. We have audio, I think. I've been running everything off of my phone today. So, not everything, but I've been running my stream deck on my phone. Yeah, I've been running this whole stream off of my phone. No, I've been running my...
Fuck.
There's
That's a pretty good show for a phone show.
Thank you.
He phoned it in today.
I phoned it in today. I phoned it in. Thank you very much.
Sound.
Thank you.
Okay,
And
okay.
I don't
Thank you
have
very
that
much. I
loaded.
appreciate it.
Thank you. But yeah, that was 62 of Spellwind. So now you've all made it to Dead Grove, and you're going to sneak in next week, and we're going to see how that all goes. I'm very excited. Also, your bracelets are broken, so haha.
Are we going to sneak in? They might as well have gone to the throne room.
Might as well. We could have, but I mean, it's really up to all of you how you want to do that. But Next week is going to be a pretty big episode. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, but we are near the end. So just know that going into it. I want to say it's probably going to be the penultimate episode, but that also could be next week.
Double finale
We'll see.
week.
Double finale, triple finale week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be. Yep.
Kingmakers is ending next week. Okay, I'll end Star Wars next week. End Ashes as well. Just
Yeah, restart. Full restart.
yeah, we'll delete the channel on Sunday.
Okay, we'll start.
Yep, it'll be perfect. Yep, that's right. Gearing us up for next season. But yeah, so that will we'll see. I don't think it's going to be next week because I got some cool things planned.
Yeah, no, that's no way.
But
No chance.
no chance.
I say 0%.
Okay, good. But yeah, anyway, so we're on the ending here. I'm excited. Also, speaking of endings, my Patreon game on Mondays they're in their last epic fight right now, like the big boss battle, and it's sweet. I don't know how many episodes that's going to be.
Is that
but
chronologically
maybe
happening at the same time as this?
Yes, I think it is.
Right.
Yeah, it is chronologically happening at the same time. They are in a place right now called Islak. That is the top of the map. There's a skull at the top of the map, and that's Islak, and it's a giant settlement that hates dragons, and they're there trying to settle some scores and figure out what's going on, blah blah blah. And they're all right now trying to fight their boss on a big mechanical dragon that's slowly being set on fire by another dragon rider. Anyway, it's great. You should come check it out. It's on
Fucking
Mondays.
awesome. Where can they listen to it?
You can listen to it. I should make a thing, but you should definitely, you can follow it. I should probably make a podcast, but you should come and watch it on Mondays on my channel, twitch.tv/cord. See, look, I did my shout out first this time.
There you go.
And now I can leave the chat and you all can watch my face. All right, bye. That's it. And Brad, you can do yours now. Haha.
Yeah, it's me, Brad. I am
I can't leave this call.
an incredibly diverse, funny, attractive variety streamer here on Twitch. You can see me at twitch.tv/BradWotar. So I tried to straight face it all the way through. I'm playing
one of my
Hitman
favorite
3, and it was I played it today for the first time. Very fun, silly, chaos. So that's what I'm going to be playing for a little while on my stream if you're into that kind of thing. And on Sundays I run I finished it yesterday or the day before. Yeah.
Did you just power through the main quest?
I literally nuked every main character and only found out what I had done at the end of the game when chat told me. But it was enjoyable to play.
Really good.
And now we're on Hitman, which is I'm being a little more tactful. On Sundays I run a show here on Table Story called Star Wars Rise of the Apprentice. That's about space, and this week they boosted a ship, so we're going to be doing a bunch of ship stuff that I definitely understand in the rules.
Which we are totally
And
ready for.
I barely
I'm so
understand how to do anything in this yet, and then now we have to all learn ship stuff, and I think I'm ready, so we'll see. It depends on how many mental breakdowns I have between now and then.
And who knows these days?
And honestly,
In this economy.
who knows? At this point,
Roll a
it
D12.
could literally be roll a d20, and that's how many it will be. And that's my shout out. Not Maya. This is Maya's shout out.
You gonna do
DB?
it for me?
What? What's happening?
I was making it really confusing. Meyer, you're up.
Literally said it was Meyer's shout out. PB?
Hello, my name is Maya, and I was Jet today. I am a voice actor and streamer here on Twitch TV. I do a lot of, how would you say, I can't even think of the words to call my channel because I'm not good at it. So if you're looking for a very diverse, entertaining channel that has video games and
Gaming news, Star Citizen, roleplay.
if you're looking for gaming news, Star Citizen, and roleplay, and just check my channel out, please. I beg you, I need the money. What?
That's great. No, we're laughing out of genuine. And there we go. And that's the face that way everybody gets. And whack.
Can I go next? Wait.
Okay, PB.
Let PB go
Okay.
next.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, my brain is just. Please go watch Kingmakers. The finale's next week, and I GM it. And thanks. Bye.
That was it.
And please go follow Pumpkinberry on Twitch, where she is currently playing
On Metal,
Unmetal.
and it's so good.
And Brad is in that game.
Yeah, he is.
I'm in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the face that Brad just made when he asked the question.
I'm in that game.
I'm Wax Steven. I played Smith for you today. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Make sure you go support Cord by heading on over to patreon.com/Spellwind and this wonderful world that he's put together. Please go check that out. I run a show called Ashes of Eriador that's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. PB and Meyer are both on that, and fuck Brad.
Fuck that guy.
And
Maybe and Meyer on that, and they're gonna fuck me, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I've been waiting for this.
we're
for
gonna
like
break
2
TOS.
years.
We're going all in.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
For that. Wow. Tune in.
Wow.
That's tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. And we'll be running another shill show at the beginning of April, so that'll be coming up soon. But please make sure you go support all these wonderful people. Please go do that, and make sure that Meyer doesn't die. So
That's right.
Go throw sub his way. Thank you so much. Bye.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Cord. I'm doing another shout out because that's when I usually do it, and I'm the last one who's got to touch the production stuff. So thanks, everybody, for being here. It's been great. Follow me on twitch.tv/Cord. I do forging stuff and projects and like prop making and stuff now, and it's awesome. We're doing Rugo's lightsaber this month, and next month I think I'm still going to work on that sword that I need to make for sound design. It's got like a wacky weird bend in it, so it makes shing noises. So I'm going to be forging that next month, but we're going to be wrapping up Rugo's lightsaber and his armor on my channel, so come check that out. I'm going to get started on that tomorrow, or get working back on that tomorrow. See you all then. Be well. Take care of yourselves. Follow me on patreon.com/Spellwind, where you can every single one of you can come and join and play games with me in the Spellwind world. Love you all. Bye. That's it. We're leaving. We're out. I think we're leaving. We're going now.